Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar is quite literally living up to his reputation of being a Paltu Chacha or a Paltu Kumar. On Sunday afternoon, Nitish Kumar will take oath for a record ninth time. But there's another data point that's just as important. This will be the fourth time in 10 years that he's actually switched sides. His revolving door politics may have damaged his personal credibility as he gets set for another Ghar Vapsi to the BJP camp, but it has clearly unraveled the India alliance. Remember, it was Nitish Kumar who, in many ways, had birthed that opposition bloc and had expected to be the convener of that bloc. Today, his party leaders squarely blamed the Congress party. They said Nitish Kumar had been reduced to the place of a beggar. They also objected to Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra, saying Rahul Gandhi was busy building his own brand or repairing his own brand rather than building the brand of the opposition. What was the tipping point? What will not just Bihar's politics look like, but what will be the impact on national politics? Let's welcome to the program our newsmaker this evening, author, diplomat, politician Pavan Varma is with us. Mr. Varma's perspective is particularly relevant, not just because he's been a senior leader and close associate of Nitish Kumar in the past, but because he, along with Prashant Kishore, was suspended from the Nitish Kumar-led Janata Dal United when both suggested that he should leave the NDA and come to the opposition. Now life has indeed turned full circle, and it is quite a moment of irony. Pavan, are you surprised at what Mr. Kumar has done?
One, thank you, Barkha. Always a pleasure to talk to you. One small correction. We were not expelled because we were asking him to change sides. If I
Okay.
remember correctly, and as the letter explicitly stated, we were expelled because of our opposition, not to the CAA, but the CAA hyphenated with the NRC.
NRC.
That is what we objected to, and which Mr. Nitish Kumar, then being with the BJP, did not take cognizance of. And since we persisted, at least I persisted quite strongly with my reasoning, both of us were expelled. Now, coming to your question,
Yes.
you see, I joined Nitish Kumar in January 2013. The person I joined, frankly, I don't speak in public anything critical about Nitish Kumar because he was my first political leader and benefactor. And I am grateful to him for many things. But the fact of the matter is that the person I joined in 2013, who had that at that time the potential to rise to the helm of political affairs, not only in Bihar but in the country, has today completely lost his credibility and with that his reputation.
Hmm.
So nothing surprises me anymore about which side he switches to. Uh, and perhaps those who were not agreeable to him becoming the convener of the India Alliance were right in their assessment because his loyalties are so exceptionally agile. Both the BJP have realized that, and the RJD has realized that. Uh, he is merely a transient instrument for
Hmm.
either of these two parties to transitionally remain in power. Otherwise, he has lost all moral credibility and political utility.
You say he has lost moral credibility, but also political utility. Why then do you think the BJP is interested in enabling his chief ministership all over again when earlier the JDU perceived that the BJP's aim was to quite simply finish off the JDU? Is the BJP's larger aim here to actually dismantle the India bloc, the opposition bloc?
Yes, I think that in that sense, given his present popularity, from what little I know of Bihar, uh, which is at its lowest for a man who was called Sushasan Babu and greatly respected and had a deep following. He is a liability for the RJD because without the ability to win as many seats. His demand is for more seats, which the RJD is unwilling to do. And similarly, he will be a liability for the BJP because his winnability of his candidates
Hmm.
is far lower than that of the BJP. But he will eat into the BJP electoral catchment area. I mean, the seats, the number of seats. Because remember, for the Lok Sabha, there are only 40 seats.
Hmm.
Uh, may also lead to other problems relating to Chirag Paswan. But I think the BJP sees in his umpteenth return to their
Hmm.
fold as a means to decimate the
Yeah.
RJD-led Mahagathbandhan in Bihar. And
Hmm.
to that extent, they have succeeded.
But you believe that Nitish will be a liability eventually for the BJP as well.
You see, because the JDU has withered away, it's not about him personally. For whatever reasons, and he blamed the BJP and Chirag Paswan for cutting into his vote share, if you remember in the last assembly elections.
Yes.
But he is now the rump of the tripod in Bihar. With the
Yeah.
RJD with the maximum number of seats, BJP a very close second, and JDU with some 40 plus seats only. So his role is that none of the other two big parties have a majority on their own. So
Hmm.
he is a utility. But in that utility, if his demand is more than merely being a utility, he becomes a liability because of the fact that uh, I think people in Bihar have lost faith in a man who was otherwise known as one of standing for principles in political life.
Hmm. But can I ask you something? What do you think was Nitish Kumar's own tipping point? Today he's become a subject of memes like this. You know, his old posters, Nitish Sabke Hain, being pulled out, and irrespective of which side of the divide today you are, everybody's having a good laugh. What do you think? Nitish Kumar is party is blaming the Congress even more than they're blaming the RJD. They're just lashing out at the Congress. They're saying Nitish Kumar was humiliated. He was reduced to the position of a beggar. Uh, what do you think, in your analysis, your understanding of politics, tipped it for Nitish Kumar? Was it the RJD and the seats? Was it the Congress refusing to make him convener? Was it that he just wants to be on the winning side and he thinks the BJP is going to win? Was it because his caste census idea bombed, didn't yield any results? Which one was it, or is it?
No, I think that his angst was not so much with the Congress, which had endorsed his convenership. His
Mhm.
angst was that the India alliance as a whole did not come together to make him convener. And that
Right.
is because there was no consensus. Mamata Banerjee and Arvind Kejriwal had already proposed Mallikarjun Kharge as a preemptive move to be the prime ministerial face of the India alliance, and therefore, as convener, he would have to work under Kharge, or at least not have an autonomy in the sense of what a convener means. So
Mhm.
the angst was against where the India alliance was going, of which he thought himself to be the progenitor and would therefore be the chief beneficiary. Now, being angry with the Congress is not the monopoly of Mr. Nitish Kumar. The TMC is angry with the Congress, the Aam Aadmi Party is angry with the Congress, so are many other allies.
Yeah.
Because the Congress has not provided the cohesion and leadership to build an opposition platform in a responsible manner and has chosen, after committing itself to the India alliance, a far more
Mm,
unilateral approach which has given scant respect to the other allies. So,
mm,
his anger with the Congress party could be an excuse. Certainly, he has a point when he says that the Congress has delayed matters to a great
yeah.
extent by being busy with Sonia Yatra. But that cannot be the only reason, because he was in a fairly comfortable alliance, rainbow hued alliance of many castes with the largest party, which is the RJD.
Mm,
Yes,
yeah.
one reason could have been that being the rump of that larger alliance with RJD in the driver's seat, there was pressure on him to ultimately vacate that seat for Tejaswi. But don't forget, he himself had said publicly that his legacy will pass on to Tejaswi. So one cannot ascribe it to that any as well. I can
Mm.
only think that he has now a peculiar love affair with the chair of the chief minister.
A peculiar love
By
affair
that,
with the chair. He's also being called Kursi Kumar, in a hark
no,
back to
I
Charan Singh.
really tell you, Barkha, I don't want to use uncharitable terms. But how
Yeah,
else can you explain this complete ideological vacuum, this complete absence of political principle, this total commitment to short term transactional politics? There's no other reason you can think of except that he wants to remain the chief minister until the next assembly elections, which are as of now due in 2025. And in that process, whatever opprobrium he collects, whatever further loss of credibility he faces, he is not concerned about it anymore.
yeah. But let's talk a bit about Mamata Banerjee, who described Nitish Kumar's exit as good riddance. Nitish Kumar was particularly peeved, and I ask you again about Mamata because it's another party where you've held a senior position. Uh, he was particularly peeved because she proposed the name of Kharge as a possible prime ministerial contender. She actually skipped the India Alliance meeting where eventually the chairman convener name was announced for Mr. Kharge. JDU leaders like KC Tyagi made no bones about the fact that Nitish Kumar was sulking. But you're saying none of this fully explains what's happened other than Nitish Kumar's deep attachment to the chair. But what do you make of simultaneously Mamata Didi's decision to go it alone in Bengal? What is the larger message that is emerging for the opposition?
No, first of all, there is no message emerging from the opposition except one of total chaos. And finally, it has dissembled to each regional party fighting on its own, where
Yeah.
it is the strongest to take on the BJP or any other rival. I mean, it's boiled down to that. Because if you were in Mamta's position, Barkha,
Yeah.
uh, I mean, you have given a deadline for seat adjustment talks. That deadline is not met. You plan a unilateral Congress Nyaya Yatra, which will pass through a state in which she and TMC are not consulted.
Hmm.
The leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha of the Congress party, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary,
Yeah.
abuses the Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee on a daily basis, and you can't rein him in. The Congress brings nothing to the table to the TMC, and yet it was willing to give it two seats. Now, in spite of the deadline given, you have not responded, nor kept her informed of your yatra in her state. Uh, I think that Mamta must have realized two things.
Hmm.
One is the India alliance as such is not going anywhere. And B, now the time is so short that it's much better for the TMC, which is by far the strongest political force in Bengal, to take on a resurgent BJP. That it's time to get on with it and forget the charade of this opposition unity until possibly the post-election scenario.
Right. Let me ask you a final question as we wait for this drama to reach its culmination on Sunday afternoon. Your close friend and associate, Prashant Kishore, he gave a statement saying, whoever Nitish Kumar allies with, wo jiske saath bhi jayenge, unko le doobenge. Do you agree with that? Do you think the BJP might be making a mistake here? Because it's quite ironic. Chirag Paswan today, whom Nitish blamed for his performance in the last elections, met with Home Minister Amit Shah. The BJP is going to be completely setting the terms and the conditions for whatever happens next. Nitish Kumar is desperate, you say, to stay to the chair. Do you think the BJP might be making a mistake?
You see, the BJP could be making a mistake, and yet one of its goals is being fulfilled, which is the decimation of the Mahagathbandhan, the isolation of the RJD,
Yeah.
and whatever further action it wants to take on corruption matters against Lalu and Tejaswi once they are not in government. I'm not prophesizing that it will happen, but perhaps it could.
Mm.
But as far as Nitish is concerned, for any political party, I'm reminded of the couplet by Mirza Ghalib, which says, "हमको उनसे वफा की है उम्मीद, हमको उनसे वफा की है उम्मीद, जो नहीं जानते वफा क्या है." I mean, here is a person who swore that he will never align with Modi, then joined the ruling party. Then he said he will never align with corrupt RJD and aligned with them. Who, having aligned with them, said he will never ever go back to the BJP and has gone back to them. So, I mean, uh, it's up to political parties to trust him. But by now, honestly, and I'm a sympathetic observer, in spite of our political differences, and also at a personal level, I consider him a mentor and a friend. I have by now lost my ability to explain his political decisions or to charter his next move.
That's right. And thus you fall back on Mirza Ghalib, which is, I think, the best we can do. Any excuse to hear some good poetry and shairi from you is always welcome. Thank you, Pavan. This is now, it's gone from farce to, more farce as opposed to
Yeah, I
anything
feel
sublime.
sorry. Now, let me just add one thing. I feel sorry for Bihar. Bihar
Sorry
does
for
not
Bihar.
deserve this. Yes, Bihar does not deserve this. It is after 30 years of Nitish and Lalu, still where it was 30 years ago. The poorest state in the country, with pervasive poverty, with huge immigration out of the state for lack of jobs, where it is the lowest on every human developed index. And therefore, I feel sorry for what politics is doing to Bihar. Bihar needs a transformational change in politics.
Absolutely. The voters do not deserve this tamasha of Nitish Kumar's lack of fidelity on any count. Thank you so much, Pavan. Always a pleasure. And we'll have you back once the picture becomes clearer. But all that's left is for the metaphorical fat lady to sing now. The swearing in is scheduled for 4 p.m. on Sunday. Thank you so much for talking to us. Thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you, Barkha.
Mojo Story has always made a commitment to its viewers to go to where the story is. And as you can see here, we are at the epicenter of the Israel war on Gaza. We are right at the front line, about 1 mile from the Gaza Strip, as the Israeli military gets ready with its tanks and its gunners to begin its final frontal assault that will take troops into Gaza. As we said, we are not like other organizations. We believe in giving you all sides of the story objectively and as much as possible from the ground. And that's exactly what we're doing here, covering the biggest global story today from the epicenter of the war zone. So please, we need your support. Support us, become a Mojo member, subscribe to us, spread the word, and thank you for your support.